It's time to break the cycle of waste and mess. Time to stop accepting that the way things have been done are the way they should be done. Control-Alt-Delete everything you thought you knew about how to period. We're flipping the script, we're throwing out the book, we're challenging the period status quo. The Diva Cup is eco-friendly, reusable, and offers up to 12 hours leak-free protection. So what are you waiting for? Join the inner revolution with the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup is used for menstrual flow only. Always read and follow the user guide.
Hey everyone, this is Spence the Singing Swordsman at the Brothers Commonplace. Thanks for checking out our podcast. Just a quick disclaimer before we start. We are a comedy podcast that covers many serious events. We aren't here to purposefully offend or disrespect any of the people in our topics. But at the same time, we will be trying to make each other laugh and crack jokes. Thanks again for listening. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff.
All right, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come on down. Come on down. Hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the Brothers Commonplace tonight.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brothers Commonplace, a comedy podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And today we're going to be talking about a real big piece of shit. But before we jump into that, let's go ahead and meet all my only friends.
What's up, guys? This is Tim, or Nothing But the Tip, as they call me at the family reunion.
Oh, yes.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't get it either, but I like it.
I fucking love it.
What up, everyone? This is the tiger, which at a zoo killed a woman who tried to reach into the cage and was later adopted by George Lucas. My name is Darth Maul.
Fuck
You
yeah.
want me to go next? All right, this is Andrew, a.k.a. Big Brother Boy. And Eric, I challenge you to an academic decathlon.
Oh, shit, dude. Billy Madison, I like that.
Hey, this is Toof, the most rad vegetable out there. Until lately, I found out I'm actually not all that, so I'm just kind of radish.
Oh, my God, dude. Fuck yeah.
Toof read that off his cell phone, so like he wrote that sometime during the last week.
Yeah, I've been prepping it.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. He didn't crack Terry Schiavo joke.
I was expecting a Terry Schiavo
That's where I
joke.
thought he was headed.
I don't really speak of pieces of shit like that.
Oh, come on.
Just Mel Hall.
And y'all know me, the kid, the Sea Land Strangler. And I just want to let you guys know, for our New Year's resolution, we want to get more listeners, to bring in as many listeners as we can. But on top of that, we want to bring in like a high percentage of women listeners, like females.
Yeah,
So did Mel Hall.
And
Oh, my
yes,
God.
that he did.
true.
And I know you probably listen to us and you think that we're just these big macho men. And we're not.
Especially Andrew.
Like, we're sensitive guys. I've cried 3 times in my life. I remember all 3 times. The first time was when the Cleveland Cavaliers won the championship,
Okay.
obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Second time, also very obvious, when Nick Cage was burned alive and Kick-Ass.
Oh, man. Yeah, stuff.
And then the third time I cried was the first time that I had sex, and the girl that I had sex with later described it as being fingered by Vern Troyer.
Oh, my God.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I still, like, I have to commend you, though, that you were able to, come over here and do the podcast afterwards. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
You didn't cry the first time we had sex?
No, I didn't.
All that liquid underneath of you. What the hell was that? Was it cum?
No.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, all right. So today we are going to be talking about Mel Hall. He is a giant piece of shit.
Yes, he is.
He is a former
Ball.
professional baseball player, but he has a very interesting and strange case to talk about. And I knew I wanted to cover some sort of Cleveland athlete, and he was the one that I settled on. And I almost didn't do it because there is a podcast called Crime in Sports, and they do a really good episode on it, and those guys are super funny. But Mel has such a weird and crazy story that I can't believe that all this shit really happened.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good and fun one for us to cover.
Absolutely.
He's a stupid, just arrogant athlete, douchebag.
That he is.
Yeah, I agree.
I love you, too.
And so for the people that are listening, the first half of this podcast, we're going to be talking about his baseball career. And don't let that turn you off because he's done a lot of weird, crazy shit. It's going to be really entertaining to talk about. And then the second half, we'll talk about the crime and what he got in trouble for.
Absolutely.
Mel Hall's a fucking xenophobe.
All right.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
I'm Googling what xenophobe is real quick.
We talked about that in Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper.
Why didn't you ask us like 3 weeks
It's
ago?
the creature from Alien.
Oh, fuck yeah, it is.
Why didn't you ask us like 3 weeks ago, too? We mentioned xenophobe a bunch.
That fucking xenophobe Mel Hall.
Now he knows what it means.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch.
Google magic.
So Mel Hall, he is a creep, a bully, just a douchebag.
Yeah.
But he is going to do a couple things where you're going to think, all right, that's kind of a baller move in a way, until you remember that it's with like a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Or he just does something where it's like, all right, that's kind of cool at first. And then he just becomes a super big douche or becomes a creep about it. So we're going to talk about Mel Hall. And a lot of this information comes from an article that was titled, The Many Crimes of Mel Hall. He was a flamboyant player, a charismatic coach, and a sexual predator.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I think I actually read part of this one.
Yeah. I think
Nice.
for some reason, I think we all read the same article.
It's like the top. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's everywhere online.
But 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right?
What?
That's
He's all of those.
I think I was like a D+ student in school. That's like 60%. So if 2 out of 3, 66, man. This dude's shooting better than I am.
And also, when we get into talking about the family of one of the girls, they are a bunch of pieces of shit, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
they're all liars.
Yeah, I think. Well, no, I don't know about liars, but they're just
maybe
like
not.
a shitty family. Like, I would have rather been raised by the family from Flowers in the Attic.
Oh, yes.
And,
Damn, dude, that's low.
Daniel Benoit, consider yourself lucky because you had a better father. He did, man.
Yeah, I mean, at least he took him out. He didn't, make him, deal with a bunch of shit.
I don't know. Maybe these girls just didn't know how to tap.
Oh,
All right. I'm just saying. When I was reading about him, I went through multiple sites. Like, I made sure I did my research. I went to more than one site. I went to multiple. There was a little lesser known one, a little company called ESBN. They did a little research, and he actually had a partner, John Oates.
All in Oates, dude.
They're a famous Hall and Oates team that took over the 80s for decades.
Well, all those girls' kisses were on their list, man.
Yeah, Private Eyes.
Okay. Okay. So Melvin Hall Jr. was born September 16th, 1960 in New York. He was a lefty, and his first professional baseball start was on the Chicago Cubs in 1981. He also ended up playing for the Indians, the Yankees, the Giants, and in Japan. So he played for a lot of like big teams, but they were usually pretty shitty at the time when he was on them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Are you getting further into like his career and stuff?
Yeah,
like,
we'll talk
okay,
about
gotcha.
Okay.
And he grew up dirt poor in Montezuma, New York. His father was a muck farmer, which I don't know what that is.
Mucklow.
I was waiting for a muckload
Yes.
joke. So, and he briefly played ball for the Cincinnati Reds. His dad did. And he told reporters, "We were so poor, we ate ice for supper.
No, fuck
We
yeah.
spelled poor with one O because we ate the other one."
Oh, my
So
God.
that's kind of funny.
Well, fuck, I forgive him now.
And he also said that after he was drafted, he signed his contract in dirt.
Oh, my God.
So.
Yes.
He said that he was so poor, he didn't grow up with socks. He used to wear rocks.
Fuck, dude.
So he's kind of funny and likable at first, and he's not like a complete douchebag, but
Yeah.
that quickly is going to change.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and one quote from one of his teammates, Mel Hall loved sex. Sex is what drove him. And by the time Mel was a senior in high school, he had already impregnated 2 girls. And nobody knows how many kids he even had, like, in total, but it's speculated that the number is either 8 or higher.
It's pretty much fucking Sean Kemp.
So
Mel Hall was a master stickman.
Oh, my God, yes. Didn't they say that teammate that said that, like, remained anonymous? Like, they didn't name him?
yeah, you'll find out a lot of teammates either say, like, dude, it was just straight up crazy.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people say it's, like, the craziest teammate they ever had, or they'll say, like, remain anonymous, or... Yeah, he didn't have a lot of friends. He
Yeah.
does have one friend who, there's like one guy on Earth who actually likes him,
Is
like
that fucking
teammate-wise, and it was Deion
Sanders, yeah.
Which we'll
So
talk about
funny.
later. Deion Sanders made Mel Hall a godfather to one of his kids.
Oh my god, dude.
Probably because it was one of his kids.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So he was drafted in the second round. He was the 39th overall pick by the Cubs in the 1978 MLB amateur draft. He was drafted out of Port Byron High School, where he played football, baseball, and basketball. And like everyone there was like, yeah, he's going to be a future athlete, a future star.
Yeah.
And I think he could have been there for like almost any sport.
Oh yeah. What if there's like any of the three that he would have been better at than baseball?
Yeah, I don't know. How tall was he? Do you remember? I think he was a solid built dude, but I think he was only like 6 foot.
Yeah, he was pictured with that 15-year-old girl, and he wasn't much taller, so probably 6 is right.
Yeah.
He did sign a contract recently with Braziers.
Fuck yeah, it's just a porn slate.
I know, dude.
Pretty sure it's Brazers.
Braziers. There we
Yeah, I don't know. I just know it's a porn site.
I thought you were making a bra joke at first.
go.
And when he first started playing, he was the 5th youngest player in the league. He had a 13-year major league career, which ended in 96, and his career batting average was .276. He had 134 home runs and 620 RBIs.
Which that batting average is pretty good. Like a career batting average.
That is, but you'll soon find out later he either got a hit or he
Struck out.
or
Yeah.
is like, well, actually they said he either got a hit or he got walked. Like,
Oh, okay.
They said he had like
Yeah.
a ton of walks.
Yeah, so he probably had a really good on base percentage.
I think he. No, I think they said his on base percentage sucked too, or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of up and down. Like his career never blossomed into what was expected.
Yeah.
Like he was always full of promise and potential, but he never made it there. Like he would show glimpses, and then he was just his defense was awful. We'll talk about how bad that was.
We're looking at you, Ryan Howard. So,
Yeah.
how long was his career?
13 years.
How fitting.
Oh, yes. Yes, too.
Oh, two. That was good. Well, that's sad, actually, but
He couldn't have played any longer, and he couldn't have played any younger.
Damn it, Toof.
Toof, you sexy bitch.
And after he was drafted, he went through the minor leagues and he had his debut in 81. He made the major leagues for good in 83, in which he was 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. You guys want to guess who was first in Rookie of the Year voting in 1983?
1983 Rookie of the Year.
Dolph Lundgren.
Dennis Quaid.
All right, let's say
Fuck
they
yeah,
played 20
dude.
years, so they retired in 2003.
It's not, it wouldn't be Griffey, right?
No.
I'm going Sammy Sosa.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Daryl Strawberry.
Oh, fuck yeah, nice. When did
Damn it,
Griffey?
yeah, I read
Griffey
that.
started in the 80s, right? Was it later 80s?
I want It had to have been late 80s.
Yeah.
Strawberry.
Yeah. Daryl Strawberry is an awesome player.
Oh, yeah. And actually, I just read something about him recently because he was talking about his sex addiction.
Oh, nice.
And he said that during the games, he would have sex between innings, like in the clubhouse.
Wait,
like,
Daryl Strawberry would?
Daryl
Or?
Strawberry.
Fuck
Like
yeah,
he would
dude.
have people pick out girls in the crowd,
Yeah.
bring them back, and like whenever he's not up to bat and shit,
Yeah.
he would like bang him real quick in the clubhouse.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Is Daryl Strawberry known for smoking that crack cocaine?
I'm not sure actually. I didn't really research.
Oh, I
too
thought he
much
was a
into him.
drug addict from New York.
I was just gonna crack a joke about him serenading them with chocolate covered strawberries. It's not funny at all, but I enjoy it.
He just puts his ball sack on the strawberries, chocolate covered.
And the following year, he and one other were traded to the Cleveland Indians for a pitcher, Rick Sutcliffe.
Oh yeah, he's a great pitcher too.
Mel was pretty much a mediocre player his whole career, playing on teams that weren't really that great at the time. He would have random teases where he looked like he could be great and you could see the talent, but he just never consistently made it there. He was never in the postseason. He was never an all-star. He never led the league in anything major or important. He never hit 20 home runs or had close to 100 runs, and he was also known as a poor defensive outfielder. The guy, though, he thought he was great. Like, he
Yeah.
carried himself around like he was the shit, like he was a big, high-profile, big shot, even though he didn't have the stats to back it up. But, yeah, his defense was so bad that they would just have to try to hide him in different spots. Like, he didn't have an actual position. It's usually somewhere in the
Yeah.
outfield, but they would try to hide him in places
Yeah.
because he couldn't defend. And he was also considered a flamboyant player, and while at bat, he would swing hard and swung at a lot of pitches, producing a poor on-base percentage. And while he was on the Yankees, his teammates would half-mockingly give him the nickname Sluggo. And also, while on the Indians, he gave himself the nickname the Gunslinger
Oh fuck
because he said he was the team's enforcer, but that was like a self nickname.
Like
he
nobody
gave
else
himself
agreed
that.
with.
And I looked up the Gunslinger online trying to find as much as I could. There's like a few message boards where they refer to him as the Gunslinger,
fuck
and they always
yeah.
do it like jokingly.
yeah. Yes.
He was the enforcer?
The Gunslinger, the team enforcer. he
The
said.
team enforcer?
Mhm.
Oh, he forced her?
Come
God.
on, dude. Oh, Jesus.
I just
yeah.
really like the fact that when they in backyard baseball, he's always the guy that's out there that all those kids are hitting the ball at.
It's
At
true.
first, I thought you were talking about like that kid's baseball game, like on the
Oh,
computer,
dude, that
and I
shit was
thought he was gonna
fun.
make a joke about how that was his favorite guy to be in it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I was referring to that game.
That was a fun game.
And also, Mel Hall's home run trot was so fucking
Yeah,
slow.
dude.
They once clocked him in at 33 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
he literally had one of the slowest ones of all time. 33 seconds to get around the bases.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
ridiculous. And in a super douchey fashion, he would keep 3 sets of gloves in each of his back pockets, so that when he ran the bases, he was like waving goodbye to the ball and to the
So
other
good.
team.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a
I like-
douchey move, but it's kind of cool in a way.
I like how he only hit just over 100 home runs in his fucking 13-year career.
So, like, that's something that he legit
Yeah.
thought was cool
He
and
was like,
showed
"Oh, man,
off his greatness.
Let me do this fucking twice a year.
And another thing he did is he named his glove Lucille,
Yeah.
which was the name that B.B. King gave to his guitar. And Mel never gave a reason or explained why he picked it. So you know that was
fuck
just
yeah,
it,
dude.
you know?
Yeah, it was.
When when Mel Hall made an appearance on The Walking Dead, he also named his bat Lucille too.
Yeah, dude, I figured that had to be coming, man.
Glenn, you fucking jerk.
Dude, don't say that when Kev's sitting right there,
Come
man.
on, dude. And while he was on the Indians and during spring training in 1989, he put both his wife and his girlfriend in the team hotel and just watched both of them like fight near the pool in front of everyone, including the general manager's niece.
So funny,
So
dude.
this guy was like an idiot.
Yeah.
And spring training probably starts in like end of February, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Because in March he was traded. So you can tell they kind of got really fed up with him. So in March they traded him to the Yankees for pretty much nothing. They were kind of like, yeah, we can't deal with this guy anymore. Just fucking take him.
Yeah.
Little known fact: at that same hotel, guess who was there? That actually saw it. That wasn't part of the baseball team.
Who?
Elisa Lamb.
The creator of American Gladiators and Jerry Springer, with both that cited ideas for both of their shows.
Interesting. All right.
All right.
I just don't see what's wrong with the cat fight, man. That's what I would do. I'd do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, no, I get it. It probably was entertaining, but that's just like a
Yeah.
douchebag
Hey,
thing to
can
do.
you say cat fight?
Can you
But
say
the
a
problem
cat
is,
fight?
from Cleveland to, did we say it was Florida? Well, wherever spring training. Actually, do they do that in Arizona?
They do now,
Yeah,
but they used to. There used to be one in Florida.
I know they did the live.
So that costs money and stuff. And he thinks
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a good idea to put his wife and girlfriend, and it's on the same floor.
Yeah.
And yeah, the general manager's niece is watching both of it.
Yeah.
So I don't want this to sound racist, but I'm guessing if they're both black, I mean, you ever see two black girls fight? It's
scary.
fucking scary.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
So I imagine that's why they immediately traded him.
Dude, I was at a bar once and these two black girls were fighting, and then these dudes got mad at me because I was like kind of close to them and I didn't try to stop it. Like, I'm not fucking jumping in on
they
that,
whip
dude.
my
Fuck
ass.
that.
you guys want to get scared of black girl fight? Google Atlanta Denny's fight.
Oh, fuck
Okay,
yeah.
we'll do that. And this guy gets more and more crazy as time goes on, and he's also full of ridiculous quotes if you haven't realized yet. And I don't know why, but once he goes to New York, he gets like extra nuts. That sounded weird.
So he just buys an extra bag of like M&M peanuts.
That's a lot of nuts. Like one time he told reporters just out of the blue that he wanted to fight Mike Tyson. Like he just thought he could really beat him. This is 1989 Mike Tyson.
Yeah, fuck
Like, come
that,
the fuck
dude.
on,
yeah,
dude.
fuck that.
And this is what Mel said. When God made my body, he made something good.
Ugh.
Yeah, well, when God made Mike Tyson's body, he made it great because you're not fucking beating Mike Tyson.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Mel Hall's 6 foot 185.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. Mel Hall then couldn't beat Mike Tyson now.
Did he say he can beat Mike Tyson in a fight or just beat Mike Tyson?
He said he wanted to fight Mike Tyson.
Oh, because I was say he probably could beat his Mike Tyson's record for sexual assaults.
Well, yeah,
He could beat that.
All right, he's got him.
He got you, Tyson.
Well, Mel 1, Mike 0.
I'll say Mel 1, Kobe 0. No. I take that back.
Connecticut doesn't count, dude. That's right, it was, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Denver, Colorado.
Oh, Colorado.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
right, not
gotcha.
Connecticut. And here's some more fun information about Mel. Whenever he got big checks, he would spend them almost immediately, and he would go to the bank and cash the whole check. This is like thousands and thousands of dollars. And he would request that they all be put into a giant money bag so that when he walked out of the bank, he could sling it over his shoulder and walk out like that.
Yes,
because he's
dude.
all about like image and showing he's like the shit and stuff.
Yeah.
So he would get it like all in a big money bag and throw it over his shoulder and walk out of the bank like that.
Dude's such a fucking douche, man. He really is.
I know. And he made over $6 million from his pro career, which doesn't seem like a ton of money, but I mean this is like '89 and throughout. I don't know what that goes to now, but I mean it is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
How much money in 1989?
and he made the most while playing in Japan. He made like $2 million over there for a year or two.
Yeah, he hit a lot better over there too, right?
Yeah, but I mean that's not even like fair though.
No, he's probably like
because
8 feet taller.
if
than
you
everybody
put
over
like
there.
a big built black dude over
Yeah.
there playing against a bunch of Asians,
yeah,
I imagine he's just fucking crushing it. Like I
Yeah,
guarantee,
dude.
like the home
Yeah.
run wall is probably like 100 foot closer. You know,
Yeah.
he's just fucking crushing it.
Does
Omar Vizquel has like 200 homers over there.
they like dress him up as Godzilla and he just smacks his T-ball around over like fucking 25-foot tall baby gates?
Fuck yeah, dude. That's,
So you said he's like 8 foot taller than them? Like,
yeah, which would
Well,
make
I mean,
him
it's
like
just
that would make him like negative feet tall.
I was just making the joke that like, you know, he's so much taller and bigger than all those people over there. Is he, you know, all those girls over there are like small and petite and tiny, you know. Did he actually go there to play baseball or did he go there to fucking lay the stick?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
I mean, we don't know, but I did hear that that's why Kev's parents decided to move to the fucking United States.
My dad's like, "Well, who the fuck's this guy? Better hide Kev." My dad had to keep telling him I wasn't a girl. He's like, 2 things, Mel. 1, he's not a girl. And 2, he's not the son from Roseanne.
Oh
either.
fuck, dude! I swear to God, I was gonna crack that joke.
Mel Hall walked to me. He's like, "You're not a girl," and he squeezed your your chest. You're like, "Ah, ah." He's like, "Looks like a girl to me."
Why does he make that noise?
What in the fucking world?
I would watch porn of that.
Dude, that's me as a kid. That's me as a kid.
I second that idea.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yes.
So back to Mel being a big spender. He had over 15 cars, but everywhere he went, he would have a limo pick him up and take him places, even to practice.
Yeah.
And I also heard that he had 12 motorcycles repossessed at one point. Which, like, why the fuck do you have 12 motorcycles? I don't even know how, like, what you do with more than one motorcycle. So I'm guessing his garage is like Bruce Wayne's garage in Batman Forever.
Fuck
Hey, is this a
yeah.
garage or a car museum, Bruce?
Oh my
Indian
god.
Classic, fully restored?
Oh man.
I'm also guessing that his fanny pack is kind of like Batman's too. It's like full with all these like smoke devices and gassing things and like I don't know,
Oh my god.
NyQuil and
Yeah, probably, dude.
roofies and you know maybe a condom. Just kidding.
As dude was saying that, I looked over. He was going through his own backpack.
He's like, extends.
Wait, is that the condom or the penis enlarging pill?
I think
Penis
it's the
enlarging-
penis
yeah,
enlarging
it
pill.
is.
Oh,
Hey, I think, wink,
Oh
wink.
fuck yeah.
well then you looked at that package and it was empty already.
You're like, I think, and you pull out your wallet and look at a receipt. You're like, yeah, that was it.
Like, yep, that's right.
Yes, that's it.
Mel Hall must have been mentored by Bill Cosby.
Oh shit.
Like there's a deleted scene from Cosby Show where he plays,
Fuck yeah, dude.
I was gonna say the only extends I have are these extensions on my Heelys to make me taller.
Why would you need the wheel cars instead of like platform shoes or anything? He uses the wheel shoes.
Well, fucking Andrew let me borrow his.
Yeah, dude. Andrew found that fast travel machine, man.
And in New York, Mel Hall also rented an apartment in Trump Tower, and he even lived on the same floor as Donald Trump. Mel owned 2 German Shepherds, which are, that's kind of cool, right? It's kind of a baller thing. That's fine.
He
And
he
Well-
like lived at the Trump Tower.
yeah.
More
Yeah.
proof of collusion, right
Oh,
there.
man, yes.
So Mel owned 2 German Shepherds. which, all right, that's normal. That's fine. He then hired a fucking German trainer to teach them attack commands. So it's like, dude, come on, man. And if that wasn't wacky enough, he bought 2 mountain lion cubs, and he had them live with him at Trump Tower, and he claimed that they slept with him, like, in the bed. And he would just walk around the city with them, and he would bring them to, like, the Yankees clubhouse and stuff. And it's like, dude, you have to know that's not allowed.
Oh, yeah.
He had, like, baby cubs in his bed?
Yeah, mountain lion cubs.
So he was known to sleeping in beds with underage things?
Oh, fuck yeah,
As soon as they
dude.
grew up, he got rid of them.
Oh, my God.
But no, he soon got them taken away by authorities, and he was fined a bunch of money. And when he was asked about the incident by reporters, this is all he said about it. Well, I'm thinking about getting myself a grizzly bear.
All right.
What a fucking idiot. Like, this
Yeah.
motherfucker just doesn't
'cause,
get it.
I mean, that all worked out for you before. Let's get another dangerous animal.
Damn, I thought of this joke way too late. So how many cars did he have, Kev?
Dude, fuck yeah.
Yeah, 15,
How many motorcycles?
12.
He sure does seem to like numbers under 16, doesn't
Oh,
he?
God, yes. Dude, I just thought of this. You said that he had what was it, lion cubs?
Yeah, mountain lion cubs.
Mountain lion cubs, and then he wanted a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
So was he just trying to get fucking traded to Chicago? The fucking Cubs and the Bears, dude.
Oh, my God. His number was number 23, right?
27, I think. It might have been 23. I mentioned it later, and I can't remember.
27. We'll say it's 27.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a pretty high number because, he likes those under 16 numbers.
Yeah.
Maybe it's actually 27-year-olds. Jeez.
Oh my God, dude. Jesus,
No more
dude.
number
So were you
jokes.
going to do 23-year-olds?
Oh man.
No more number
damn
jokes. So all that stuff is just most of the weird, crazy shit about him with money. And on top of all that, he was an asshole and a bully. While on the Yankees, he would call his teammate Steve Sachs a cracker just to piss him
man.
off and to get a
Yeah.
rise out of him.
Yeah.
And most of his teammates later said that he was one of the craziest guys that they've ever played with, and most wouldn't comment. But Steve Sachs actually had a pretty good quote he said about him. He said, Mel flirted with danger. He was always on edge. He liked the action. He liked to instigate. There were times when he was really fun to be around. He had this great big laugh, but you just didn't know what was on the other side of the curtain.
Yeah.
So the dude was just nuts.
Yeah. Pretty much just like a ticking bomb. Basically, you never knew when it was gonna go off.
What was that guy's name that he pissed off, Cracker?
Steve Sachs.
Steve Sachs used to also piss off Mel Hall by saying, "Hey, I saw you hitting on them married women, huh? That's not unlike you." It's like, shut up. You know that's not what I like.
Yeah.
You can
And speaking of not knowing what was on like the other side of the curtain, even though he had a limo driver take him everywhere, he still would carry a gun with him.
Oh,
And he would
man.
bring a gun with him into the clubhouse. And I don't know why he would feel like he would need that there.
Yeah, the
No
fucking-
one knows. And when
Yeah.
asked about it, he said, it's just me being Mel Hall.
Ugh.
Mel Hall asked one of his female victims that same thing. What's on the other side of that curtain?
Oh my God, Jesus, dude. Jesus.
She's like, well, this is where I keep my American Girl doll.
Oh shit!
And he was just wild and out of control, had a giant ego, and the two things he loved most was spending money and chasing women. So here's a fun story. Whenever he would go out to clubs in like the New York nightlife, he hired a bodyguard for $1,400 a night.
Yeah.
And that bodyguard was fucking none other than Jimmy McMillan, the guy that says the rent is too damn high. That guy.
Yeah.
He has like those 1880s fucking Stonewall Jackson sideburns.
Dude.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Some of the shit that he does
Yeah.
is funny as
And-
fuck.
So Jimmy McMillan's pretty awesome. He said that while they were out, Mel would give him $300 to pay the DJ to play songs that he could, quote, get up close to the women and grind on them.
Yeah.
And Jimmy would just pay the DJ $10 and
Dude,
pocket the rest.
Dude, that's so fucking
So
good, dude.
That's funny.
Like, that's so much money. Just
So
fucking
fucking
pockets
funny,
for that, dude.
McMillan walked up to the DJ. He's like, "I'll give you $10 if you play Cotton Eye Joe."
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Only so McMillan can grind up on
Dude,
girls.
I do kind of wish there was like a list of the songs he would play.
I know. Oh, they have it. It's actually on CD. It's just Schindler's List soundtrack.
Oh, yes.
What if
dude.
it's just Kids Bop 11?
Oh, my God.
And it's him performing it with the kids. Just them singing it. And McMillan said that that Mel's goal was to get women out of the club and fuck them in the car.
Oh, yes.
There were like 2 or 3 things that Mel did on the Yankees that really pissed people off. One of them was he would constantly bully and treat Bernie Williams like shit. Now, if you don't know who Bernie Williams is, let's just say his worst day of baseball when he's ill and barely able to walk is still better than fucking Mel Hall.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Bernie Williams is a 5-time All-Star, a 4-time World Series champ, ALCS MVP, and a 4-time Golden Glove winner. He's way fucking better than Mel Hall.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the problem is, like, he's bullying and treating Bernie Williams like shit, and everyone is just like, dude, he's, like, young. He's our future. You don't mean shit to us.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the time, everyone knew Bernie Williams was going to be great, and everyone knew that Mel was going to fuck this up and crush the dude's ego and spirit, because Mel would call Bernie Bambi because he wore glasses that made his eyes look big. He would call him Mr. Zero, saying that he meant zero to the team and meant nothing to anyone. He even taped a sign that said Mr. Zero over his name on the locker. And every time Bernie tried to talk, Mel would yell at him, tell him to shut the fuck up. He'd be like, "Shut up, Zero." And they said it got so bad that Bernie was almost in tears some days. And it got so bad that management had to actually step in and tell Mel, like, you just cut the shit out, man. So that would be like if during LeBron's rookie year, like Ira Newble is like calling LeBron
Fuck,
queen
yeah.
and telling him to like
Oh, my
shut
God,
up. Like
yes.
it makes no sense,
Yeah.
you know?
Shaq would have.
And in reality, Mel was doing all this because he knows he can't back up his game. The team sucks. He's an awful outfielder. And Bernie Williams is going to take his spot rightfully because that's the position Bernie Williams plays.
Oh, yeah.
And during his stint with the Yankees, the manager had to bench him against any left-handed pitchers because the dude
So
couldn't
good.
hit against any of them.
Yeah, dude.
And Hall threw a tantrum in the clubhouse because of it. He slammed a door so hard it broke off the hinges, and he publicly demanded a trade. And the Yankees GM said, "I looked around literally everywhere, and I couldn't find a single taker."
Oh, yes.
But that's not the final straw. The final straw for the Yankees was during Old Timers Day in 1992, which is a tradition in the organization where they bring out like Yankee legends, their favorite players, Hall of Famers. And Mel Hall walked out onto the field during this. He went up to the Yankees manager and said, "Who are these old fucking guys?"
Oh, yes, dude.
And Showalter, who was the Yankees manager at the time, said, "That's when I knew he had to go."
Which he's the Orioles manager now, I believe.
It's like, imagine...
Buck Showalter.
So imagine that right now. Like, if the Indians had one of those and, like, Lofton, Bell, Vizquel, Alomar, Tomey, all those guys are out there, and a new young guy who's not good on the Indians is like, who are these fucking old guys?
Yeah.
You're just pissing everyone
Dude,
off. Why would
if-
you say that?
If you ever said that around Albert Bell, I don't care how old he is, he's going to
Beat the
fuck
shit
you
out
up.
of you.
Yeah,
Albert
dude.
Bell's the shit,
Fuck
dude.
that, dude. That's a scary man.
So they got rid of him when his contract expired. Nobody wanted him, and he was a giant pain in the ass. So that's when he went over to Japan to play, where he made more money than he ever did in the U.S.
Yeah.
He does come back in 96 when he's 35, and he played for the Giants. And like we mentioned, he had 25 at-bats, and he had 3 hits, and they released him like immediately, and that
Yeah.
was the end of his major career.
Didn't he
And-
complain about like pinch hitting?
Yeah,
and
that's
shit?
right here.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so they were only using him as pinch hitting because, all right, he's 35. He can't play defense.
Yeah.
He's a liability.
He's never really been that good.
And he's only being used as a pinch hitter. And to that he said, "Pinch hitting is a vital role, but I will never accept it." You don't have a fucking choice,
Yeah,
dude.
dude,
Like,
you're
at
fucking
all.
35.
So that's why less than a month he's released.
What is pinch hit? I don't know what that is.
Pinch hitting's like say it's like a vital part of the game, and say like there's somebody who's maybe not hitting that great that game, or maybe like they're not great against like left-handed pitching. There's left-handed pitcher on. You'd bring on a pinch hitter, so you can like take that person out and bring in another hitter.
Oh,
Because-
okay. So in a pinch, my bad. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Because Mel Hall, he can hit. When he can hit, he can hit. You know, he can't play defense. He
Yeah.
can't. He can't play a position to save his life.
Yeah.
So they could really only use him for hitting.
Usually, only pinch hitters are slow fat asses who can only hit the ball and can't play in the outfield or
I mean,
nothing.
really, it is.
Yeah. It's pretty much the guy who can literally only swing a bat is the pinch hitter.
Dude, we had the best pinch hitter a couple years ago. Fucking
Giambi?
Jason Giambi, man.
be Giambi.
Oh man.
So now we're going to actually get into like the criminal case and where it all began. So let's go back to June 11th, 1989. Jennifer Diaz, who that's not her real name, so you know that's never a good sign when they don't even have their real name used. Well, Jennifer is a 15-year-old girl. She just about finished up her freshman year of high school, and she's with some friends and her friend's dad at a doubleheader at Yankee Stadium. And the group of friends are all sitting in the front row of right field, which just so happens to be the position that old Mel Hall is playing this day.
Yeah.
And each time that Mel would jog out onto the field or during each inning, the girls would call out to him asking him for a ball. And Mel, he was like being like real playful and cute with them. He would smile and laugh, and he would act like he was gonna throw him a ball, but he never did. But he would always be like, "Hey, you guys want a ball?" And he would never throw one over. It's kind of funny, but that's like kind of a dick when you do it like the whole time.
He's like, I got 2 for you, baby.
Oh yeah. Mel Hall was known to play a lot of positions, and he always had the girls wanting that ball.
No,
Oh, fuck
he didn't.
yeah, dude.
Stop.
I this is stupid. I'm not even gonna say, it, but I was gonna crack a joke that like one of the times like he runs out when he has no pants on, he just has his wiener tucked between his legs.
Dude, he does.
That didn't actually happen.
He
but-
does that, the marbles thing the Asian guy does for Major
fuck
League
yeah,
too.
dude.
He does that, but he's naked with his real nuts.
Dude, I
Yes.
can't wait till we talk about the one game he does play.
Oh my God, yeah. So a little fun note here, while playing the Red Sox, as they were this day, he would wear stuff, like he wore a shirt under his jersey that day that said Boston Sucks on it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I
That's
like
kind
that,
of a fun
yeah.
move.
I read there's about like 5 instances where he actually let it leak of the shirts he was wearing.
Oh, God.
The famous one is the Boston Sucks one. When he was playing for the Yankees, he had a shirt that said "Investigate 9/11. 9/11 is not real."
Oh yes, he did.
I saw one he had where it was like the Make 7 Up Yours, but he took like the Make 7. He left that alone, but the Up Yours he crossed out and he put the new 18.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. Yes.
Make 7 the new 18. I'm just joking. That's awful.
That's a
Fuck
good one.
yes.
What was the other shirt he had too?
He had Arizona, and he had a NWO Wolfpack shirt on.
Oh, damn it.
I don't know what that even means.
Damn it, dude.
I know
So he was
exactly what it
kind
means.
of. You know what? Fuck it. He's innocent. I
Yeah,
kind of
mean,
like him now.
I
No.
forgave them after they ate the other O thing, so I mean, I thought he was innocent for a while.
No, because one time he played in Baltimore, and he was wearing a Gangrel WWF T-shirt. So
Fuck yeah. All right, now I definitely forgive him.
So after the game, the girl's dad, not Jennifer's, but like the friend's dad that took him to the game, he told them that they should write a letter to him stating they never got a ball and ask for an autographed one. So they end up writing him a letter one day, and soon after, like we're talking days, not weeks, Jennifer gets a call at home from a man claiming to be Mel Hall. He tells her that he noticed the blonde girl, which is her, at the game, and she was wholesomely beautiful, and he wanted to get to know her better. This is a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah, and like this is gross, but it's true. If cell phones existed, that chick was getting a dick pic, dude. She was.
Oh, yeah. She's finishing up her freshman year of
Yeah,
high school.
dude.
So, like, she's not even done yet.
Yeah.
He also tells her that he rarely opens up fan mail and that it was destiny that connected them. All that weird, creepy shit like that.
when I read this part, I was like, "There's no way this fucking loser gets fan mail." Like that he's just bills. There's just a stack of bills, and he sees one letter on top.
That's true because, like, they sent it they just addressed it to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And, like, he opens it and gives her a call within, like, a couple days.
He was
like, what the fuck?
he
What
was
in the
he was
world?
saying it was Destiny, but it wasn't even from the note. They were just playing Destiny too.
I was going to say, dude.
I guarantee, like, there's no fan mail. Like,
No.
there's not at all. He just lied. Like, oh, there's millions of letters.
Oh,
In fact,
fuck yeah.
I have a limo just stored full of letters, and I happen to pick one off the sunroof, and it happened to be yours.
One time he got one of those potato mail things, like, in the mail, because you can send those, but it was just an accident. Okay, that's not even funny.
Wait, what the fuck's a potato mail?
You can send a potato to people through the mail and, like, have it say something on it. Like, Dirk Nowitzki got one, and he thought it was funny.
oh, like
It's just a potato. People just mail potatoes
No.
for some reason.
can you mail other things?
Dude, I would
Yeah.
mail one to
Anything that you
Dirk.
can put a label on, you can mail.
So he tells her that he rarely opens up fan mail and that it was destiny that connected him. He then invites the whole family out to the Yankees game the following day, and Jennifer is like, yeah, right. Like, she thinks it's just one of her friends playing a joke on her or messing with her. So she hung up, and this motherfucker just keeps calling. So she thought it was maybe the boy she had a crush on calling her because he was a huge Yankees and Mel Hall fan. And honestly, like, why the fuck would a Major League Baseball player be calling you anyways?
Oh yeah.
And her dad is like, yeah, that's impossible. The game is going on right now. He's in the lineup. And the phone rang again, and the man still claimed to be Mel Hall. And he said that he was the designated hitter that game, so he could go to the clubhouse and use the phone, which he's going between innings using the clubhouse phone to call a fucking 15-year-old girl.
Yeah, dude.
He then tells her, here, I'll prove it to you when I come up to bat. I'll tap the home plate with the bat 3 times. So this would be a move that would be fucking baller.
Yeah,
like if you're
if
a
it
baseball player and
wasn't-
if you actually really like the girl, it's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to go, I'll tap the home plate 3 times.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking
Fucking
15-year-old
15, yeah.
girl, so it's like... So they gather... Yeah?
I have a joke about the label thing. Sorry.
What label thing?
Like mailing the potato.
The potato? You're still on the potato?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you.
All the time up until now, Toof has been suffering a potato famine.
So, is it okay if we mail ICP because they desperately need a label?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Hey,
a successful label.
Andrew, what are you doing with that grenade?
So all the family and friends living nearby, everyone gathers around the television set to watch the game, and then Hall comes up to bat. He swaggered up to the plate with his jerry curl rocking in the wind, gloves dangling in his back pockets,
Ooh, yeah.
and the first pitch comes, and nothing. And I also think it's funny he didn't do anything with the first pitch,
Yeah.
because this motherfucker knows he's not getting on base the first pitch, you know?
Yeah, dude.
So Jennifer was like super embarrassed, and everyone laughed at her, calling her a fucking idiot. And then before the second pitch, he taps the home plate with his bat, not once, not twice, but how many times, Tim?
3.
3 times. And then he points the bat at the TV cameras,
Dude,
which is
so
just lame
fucking
as
good.
shit, you know? Like, he's like, see, I told you I was going to do it. Hey, I told you I wasn't going to
Yeah.
slide.
Oh, my God.
So it's just like, he turned, I don't know, it's just so lame.
Like, if she wasn't 15, that'd be badass, but...
Yeah. And so Mel, he calls the house again, like after the game, and he starts calling the house more and talking to Jennifer's mom. And he would talk to her about like his shitty, troubled childhood and how he never had like that great of a family life. And he also spoke of how alone he was in New York and overwhelmed by everything. So he's just like a piece of shit,
Yeah.
just manipulating the whole family and working his way in like, I don't know, like just like a fucking snake move, you
Oh, yeah.
know? And Mel and her mother would talk for hours, and by the end of it, he would start calling her mother instead of by her name.
Which that's so
he
weird,
would refer
dude.
to her as mother and mom and
that's
shit.
so fucking weird. He's doing that before he's ever like had like a
Yeah.
face-to-face meeting
Yeah.
with the 15-year-old girl. I mean, I heard she, probably could have been on the phone, but she was studying for a fucking social studies fucking
Right,
quiz.
for
So
real.
She didn't want to get on the phone because she was too busy growing her Tamagotchi.
Dude, no,
it's not even out yet.
dude, we you know how we cracked the Tamagotchi joke in the Jack the Ripper episode?
Yeah.
They brought them back.
Did they really?
Tamagotchis are back in
Dude,
stores.
it's because
we
of
did
us.
it.
We did
So you guys are welcome.
Up those downloads, people. You want it done, we'll get it done.
We'll get it done.
this. That's right.
And-
Mention Pogs.
Yeah, Pogs. Hey, they never went away, dude. I've been making my own with my Pog maker.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
And the next day, he invites the family out to the Yankees game. He sends a limo to pick them all up. He gets some box seats, Yankee tickets, signed baseballs. And nobody really thought too much about the angle he was doing of the whole thing either. Like, they thought he was just, like, making up for it, like, being nice. And while at the stadium and meeting with Mel for the first time, Jennifer's dad sensed that he might be trying to go after his daughter. So he says, yeah, so you know she's only 15, right? And this is what Mel's reply is. Keep drinking your milk, kid. And everyone fucking laughs.
Yeah.
And that is the last time it's ever fucking brought up again about her age.
Yeah.
So her dad was like a decent dad for like half a second and
Yeah.
never again. It's
And
just a piece of shit family.
Even that's really not even that decent. Like, yeah,
No.
you know she's 15, right? Like, any other dad, I don't give a shit if it's a baseball player. They're going to want to fight that guy.
And you know he's like putting on his Yankees jacket, like buttoning it up while he's saying it. Like, oh yeah, you know she's 15, right?
Yeah.
Well, just keep drinking your milk, kid.
Ugh.
What a fucking
Yeah.
creep, man.
But I mean, that's not like the way to come across like saying it though. Like, it'd been better if he would have sang it to Mel Hall. Like, Mel, come on, man. She's only 17.
He had to wait a couple more years to sing that
that's,
one. Though.
that's right.
That's why he couldn't be a better dad. He was waiting for the line.
And the next day, Jennifer was at the beach with some friends, and she was talking about like the day before. And I imagine it kind of went like that scene in Grease where they sing "Summer Nights."
yes,
But it's like
dude.
more weird. Like she's singing to her friends, and Mel is either just like singing alone, or he's singing it to his teammates who all have like "what the fuck" looks on their faces, and they're like not agreeing with it all. Like, no, man. Summer loving had me a blast.
She's just a virgin, so I'll stick in her ass. Shit, dude.
I met a girl only 15. And
Hope I don't go so deep that she screams.
Oh my god,
I
dude.
hope that. And here's a little bit of foreshadowing. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh. Tell me more, tell me more. Did you sleep on the floor?
Oh fuck yes, dude. Fuck yes.
Anybody have any other Grease lines they want to throw in?
No, I didn't have it. I couldn't think of any.
Samuel L. Jackson, they cut it in the Pulp Fiction line. It's like, does he look like a bitch?
Does he look like a bitch? That's funny. So her friends kind of rip on her a little bit and tease her some. And somehow Mel finds out about this and, like, he shows up, like, not at the beach, but he shows up to her like, yeah, I heard you had a bad day. And then he tells her that he's there to protect her and how destiny brought them together. So he keeps saying destiny to her a lot.
Yeah.
And then after only knowing her for one fucking day, he tells her that he loves her.
Oh man.
And
I wonder if he had this fucking creepo limo driver like stalk her ass.
oh no, he when he's in New York and she does move to New York. He makes his limo driver keep an eye on her.
Wait, he is from New York, and like after like first meeting her, he told this girl that he loved her. Did he also steal a blue French horn for her? Just how I met your mother.
Fuck yeah, I like that, man.
Yeah.
So now he starts coming over to her house after practice and games, and he stays there like all night, fantasizing with her, talking to her about their
Fucking weird.
future, and like staying way past midnight. Like, what do you even talk about?
I don't know.
He's what, 28 or something? She's 15. What the fuck are they talking about? Like, how do you relate to them on any way, like any level?
He probably just tells her lies and lets her believe it. Yeah, when I was younger, I was playing for this minor league team, and I was hitting 50 home runs a game. Wow, 50? Yeah. I was named the MVP, and there's this fucking bear that came out in the field, and I killed it
fuck
with my bare
dude.
hands. Like, I didn't want to do it, so I took its cubs in and raised them as my own. Oh, my God, really? Yeah. Well,
I also heard, this is on the other podcast, they mentioned that he would just randomly bring up in the middle of interviews, he'd be like, yeah, I got a brother in jail. He asked me to come visit him, but I'm going to see him when he gets out. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking
yeah,
about?
what the
Like, we were
fuck is-
asking you about your batting average.
Oh my god.
Like,
yes.
he just, like, brings that up out of nowhere. So no one even knows if that's fucking true or
Fuck
not.
yeah,
So-
dude. I was gonna say like maybe he helps her with her homework, but he doesn't
He's
sound
a
very.
fucking
He's
idiot.
not very smart.
Yeah.
So right before like he started hanging out there, like she like was like an A student, and then after that she's like a fucking C student.
how many times? Like 4 going to 12? I don't know. I'm Mel motherfucking Hall.
Oh, come on.
Dude.
Like, I'll show you how many times one goes into 15. That's not nice.
They call me Mel Hall 300 if they knew the truth.
Oh my god, again, dude, again.
God.
300.
So she's not even like into him that much, really. But before she has a chance to even say anything, he moves into their house and is sleeping on the living room floor. And there's pictures. And don't forget, he also has an apartment in Trump Tower. So this is the angle he's working. He has an apartment in Trump Tower, and he moves into their house. Her dad's a construction worker, and his mom has the daycare center she runs out of their house. So they're not a wealthy family
No.
at all.
Yeah.
And Mel then bought Jennifer a Chevy Cavalier convertible, and he bought her dad a Corvette convertible.
And didn't he? I mean, you're probably getting to it. Didn't he also buy him a pool?
Oh, we're getting to it.
Okay, like how does he really have that much fucking money? Like, I feel like he sucks on a shitty team. How does he
Yeah.
even have that much money?
So he just buys this dude's daughter off him pretty much. And Jennifer will later even say that her family sold out and just straight sold her out. And she can't even drive yet either. She's 15.
Yeah.
And as Tim was saying, one morning bulldozers show up. And the family's like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? They probably think they're fucking taking the house down because they're poor as shit.
Yeah.
And to their surprise, they were told, we have an in-ground pool being put in, and it's all been paid for and taken care of by a man named Mel Hall. That sounds like a nice gesture.
Yeah.
Until you learn that the reason wasn't very nice at all. Mel is just super jealous because Jennifer's going to the beach and stuff, so he got her a pool so she wouldn't have to go to the beach anymore.
So fucking funny, dude.
Get the bulldozers, dude. And that's not all, though. He also got her a diamond ring, and this scared her a bit. And then Hall said, no, baby, this is the promise ring until you're ready to commit.
Oh,
Like,
fuck
motherfucker,
yeah,
come
dude.
on. Which didn't mean shit, because while sleeping on the floor with her, he would make advances on her and feel her up. and she didn't know exactly what to do, so she just pretended like she was asleep.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's pictures of their living room, like they're like laying on the floor holding hands, and her dad is sitting in a chair
in
behind
his
them.
underwear.
Yeah.
It's fucking like weird. For a second I was like, is that dude in a fucking diaper?
So all this stuff that's happened between Mel and this girl, like all this stuff sounds like it's been a long time. This all happened from meeting the phone calls to this within 2 weeks.
Oh my god, dude.
All within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
I'm just kind of pissed that this guy stole my move. Feeling a girl up and you're laying next to her, man. You just gotta say the classic line. Don't move. I think that's the boogeyman crawling over us.
No, that's just what the fuck, too?
JK.
Okay, there we go. So Jennifer said about all this, it was a whirlwind. Everything went really fast. But I think that was his intention, to keep everything moving. I think he seized the opportunity. He was always talking about the whole destiny thing because I had so many questions and I wasn't all in at that point. And then she also said that before he would feel her up, he would point at the sky and yell "Carpe diem." I made that
fuck
up.
yeah, dude. I heard she is all in now because she's a fucking Cavs fan.
All in.
Oh yeah.
All in.
Oh yeah.
Well, he would lay on his back and something would point at the sky.
God, dude. Yes. Yeah.
And since he was sleeping on the living room floor, the mom had to get rid of her daycare job because she was watching all the kids at her house. But this wasn't a problem because Mel promised her that he would take care of the whole family financially. And that's not the only deal that Mel and the mom made, though. They also had another deal, and this is a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Mel promised not to sleep with Jennifer, and he would keep her pure until she was 18 when he married her. And in return, Jen's mother said Mel was allowed to sleep with girls while he was out on the road. And so they had an agreement, just a fucking scumbag agreement.
Oh, yeah.
And Jennifer had no idea about any of this. She was never, like, asked about it by her mother. Her mother just made this behind her back.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, if you don't sleep with her until you marry her when she's 18, you can go bang all these other chicks on the road as long as you're taking care of us financially. What a fucking scumbag
dude,
family.
It's so bad.
And if you're wondering if Mel like kept his promise to that deal, he slept with Jennifer when she was 15, so he didn't even wait.
Yeah.
On the living room floor while her dad was asleep on the couch a few feet away.
Oh man.
So fucked up.
And dude, even if you would have woke up, you're probably like, all right, just give me a little
I
extra
know,
money.
He's probably watching.
Yeah, give me a little extra
Give it to
cash.
Mel.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He's like the dad from 10 Things I Hate About You. He's like, interesting.
Interesting. Interesting.
And eventually, this is kind of funny, though.
Oh, yeah?
This isn't like a baller move, but
Yeah.
it does crack me up.
Yeah.
Mel moved from the living room to the master bedroom with
Yeah.
Jennifer and made the parents
It's
move into
so
Jen's old
fucking
room.
funny,
So that's
dude.
kind of funny.
He
Because he
made him
has a
move to
fucking
a smaller
apartment in
room.
Trump Tower.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, when I was reading that, I was wondering how you negotiated. Like, man, this living room floor, I really don't got enough room to stretch out here. You know, you guys got that nice big bedroom.
Oh my god.
and like
dude.
they were going to all the games and everything together, and no one questioned it. No one
Yeah.
said anything. I don't know if it was just because her parents were always there,
Mm.
but everyone just accepted it. It's so
Oh, yeah.
fucked up. They
Yeah.
did say, though, they were together in a semi-consensual relationship for 3 years. Sometimes his teammates would joke and ask if he was going to go pick up his girlfriend at Toys R Us, which is kind of funny.
Dude.
But yeah, no one fucking questioned anything. I guess people just thought it was all right. And here's another fucked up thing. He even went to prom with her. He's fucking 28.
Yeah.
She's, what, 15? She might be 16. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he goes to prom. And there's a picture of them at the prom.
Oh,
And
I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a picture of them
Okay.
from prom. And here's the thing. You're going to find out online, tons of people defend him and say he's innocent. There was someone claiming to be like his wife or something, saying that like, no, Mel did this as a favor to her. He didn't want to go. But who the fuck lets what school district lets a 28-year-old go to prom?
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
I went to prom the year after I graduated because the girl I was dating was in the grade under me, and I was like super embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
Not super embarrassed, but I mean like I didn't like
Felt,
it.
like,
Like I
awkward
wanted
and
out of
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Imagine being 28.
Yeah.
Been out of school for 10 years.
And this was like her, probably not even her senior prom either. This was like her
no,
junior
she was
prom.
like 16. So.
Yeah.
And so in the Yankee yearbook, there's a section in the back with family and friends, and it has like all the players, like pictures of all the players with their wives. And the fucking prom pictures
Oh,
put in
yeah,
there. In the
dude.
official Yankee yearbook. Like, what in the fucking world is going
Yeah,
on? Why
yeah.
does that get in there?
That's awesome though.
I know Mel Hall didn't get a lot of hits in his MLB career, but at least he got to hit that.
Oh my God. I feel like, didn't you crack that joke already? I feel like you might have already cracked that joke.
So he was super possessive, in case you couldn't tell. He bought her a necklace with a jersey on it and the number 27, which is his number. And also he bought her a bracelet that said Mel on it. So he's like super possessive.
Yeah.
And he was going to propose to her at a fucking school dance. And she had to convince him not to do it. So like imagine how that would have went down.
Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
he probably paid like the school DJ like $400. And he's probably like, all right, quiet. Listen up. This is my girl. Like, what did he say?
Yes.
Like, to propose her. Imagine how bad that would have went.
The funniest thing is, like, he probably only wanted to do it there.
Like, are you a chaperone? Or the fuck are you?
He only wanted to do it there to, like, ward off all the potential
That was
boyfriends.
why,
And
yeah.
They said, like, he was super jealous of this one. Like, the guy we talked about at the beginning who was, like, a girl or a guy that she kind of liked. And he was a big Mel Hall and baseball fan. Like, how do you compete with that? Like, how do you, as a kid? I remember once, this was in, like, 6th grade. It's something stupid. A girl I was dating, and I remember being like, well, if Justin Timberlake like asked you to hang out, would you? She's like, well, yeah. I'm like, I bet you would, you fucking whore. You slut.
I was saying you made my mom cry for 2 weeks after that.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Yes.
And whenever he went on road trips, he would call her all the time and tell her, hey, you're not supposed to go out. You're not supposed to talk to anyone. He really told her to sit around and wait for his calls. And if he didn't like what she was wearing, he would lock her in the closet.
Yeah, dude.
And he would keep her in there for like hours.
Dude, she was in there for like more than a couple hours that she had enough time to record a CD.
Oh, yes, dude. Yes.
I'm trapped in the closet. Mel Hall locked me in here.
Dude, we might have to talk about R. Kelly's sex cult some episode,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
I tried to join it once, actually. I was like, R. Kelly, dude, it's me, Kev. I want in on this sex cult. Like, I see you got the girls in here. Why can't you have me in here?
Yeah.
And he said, my mind is telling me no, but my body is also telling me no. And I just said, all right, man. I'll try next year.
Yeah. Then Andrew did get in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got in quick.
Nice job, Andrew.
Oh, yeah, Andrew.
he told Andrew the carpet matched the drapes and the equipment was right for the job.
Oh, fuck
And then
yeah,
he pissed
dude.
on him.
And then it was actually Andrew pissing on R. Kelly.
I know. R. Kelly got the idea from it. No.
I do like wet working a lot.
So after Mel locked her in the closet, he wrote her this note.
Oh, yes.
Baby, when I ask you to change, it's because I love you. I know sometimes I'm a little tough, but no one loves you better or more. Mel.
Ugh.
What's funny is like by baby, he probably really just meant baby.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fucking more of a baby than an
True.
adult.
Yeah, it is true.
And lucky for Jennifer, she keeps all the notes and all this weird shit.
That was
so
smart.
she can use that as evidence
Yeah,
later.
like that was really smart, all that.
And this is what she also said. I wasn't all in, but I became all in, she said. I think part of it was, this guy is so crazy about me, and he would say, basically, I could be with any woman, and you should be on her. You should start loving me back. And then I thought that I did.
Yeah, like he just takes like the most douchebag route into trying to make her love him.
Oh, yeah, he does. He pulls a pretty cool move here, too.
Yeah.
When he had to go to Florida for spring training,
Yes.
he moved their whole fucking family down there.
Yeah.
And made her change schools so that she would be down there with them.
funny, dude.
Yeah, so
Like,
leave all your friends, everything
Yeah.
behind. I can't risk it. You're coming with me to spring
the
training.
fucked up part is that she had to change schools.
I even heard, like, I don't know if this is true. I think he made her drop out of high school.
Oh,
She
yeah.
hasn't
'cause-
finished high school.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought
'cause
so,
she still
yeah.
hasn't, yeah.
I couldn't remember. And later on in New York, Mel moves her into the apartment at Trump Tower with him. And she even said on many occasions they would go over and eat with Donald Trump. And eventually she said Donald and Mel's relationship turned sour because Mel was behind on rent. And she even said one time that Donald smiled at her and asked, what are you doing with this guy?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. And then he grabbed her by the pussy.
and grab her by the pussy. It's just locker room talk. Just locker room talk.
I think the funniest thing about all this is, like, all this is going on, like moving her, living with her family. He has a wife and like a kid,
Yeah.
like just somewhere doing something.
And they all defend him to the death, like till the end. His family and wife, everyone defends him.
I want to hear their arguments for that. Like, how was he right in this?
When you lay pipe that good, man, it doesn't matter your mess ups.
So she's still very young. Like they were in a 3-year relationship total. She's not even 18. And she started suspecting that he might be cheating on her, and she never realized until later on that she was actually being like sexually abused and taken advantage of. Because when she was 15, when they first started, she didn't grasp the whole thing, and she just assumed that he was like loyal to her because of how controlling and how she made him or how he made her stay loyal and pretty much not leave his sight.
Yeah.
So she started getting really annoyed that she couldn't ever leave the house because Mel and his close friend Deion Sanders were always going to strip clubs and bars together and shit. Another weird thing about Deion Sanders, he really is like the only like teammate or athlete or star, whatever you want to say, who liked Mel Hall.
Yeah.
And yeah, we mentioned he was a godfather to one of his kids.
They actually look a little bit alike.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah.
So one night in the fall of 92, she drove to a Florida hotel where she knew he was going to be. She saw him in the parking lot in the midst of an angry encounter with another woman, and it was obvious that the two were romantically linked or had a relationship of some sort. And Jennifer just fucking goes off on him hard. She had like all this emotion and everything builds up for 3 years, and she finally let it all out on him. And she, quote, says, "I just kept asking myself why. I wasn't even mad at the situation. I was mad because I felt so caged. But yet he's living his life, and he's always putting this guilt on me. So it was just why."
Yeah.
This is exactly what R. Kelly wants from his girls, to let it all out on him.
Oh, yes. No, the one good thing, like, not even good thing, but at least he never, like, beat her or anything. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Beat her or hit her.
Because when I was reading about this, like, this part, I was thinking the whole time, I was like, dude, he's going to beat the fuck out of her.
Yeah, I thought it would eventually kill her or something.
Yeah.
So.
That's nice of him. Not all heroes wear capes, you know?
Oh, fuck off, dude. Fuck off.
So he rapes, but he saves, too.
Yeah.
That's equal. And after that moment, she was finally done with him for good. Her relationship with her family was completely destroyed because of this whole thing, too.
They're fucking just as bad as him.
And she wouldn't see Mel again for another 17 years, which is when she spoke out against him as a witness in court.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that 17 years later, he sees her coming through the doors, and he's probably just like, fuck.
He probably like looks at her. He's like, "Did you happen to have did you happen to get pregnant 2 years after you had me? You have a 15-year-old daughter right now?"
He's like, "Bitch, you totally leave the closet."
Oh fuck! Yeah, he thought she was in there the whole time. He looks. It was just Andrew in there the whole time.
So that's right. Mel would finally find himself in court for sexual abuse of a 12-year-old, and soon many other girls came forward as well.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a 14-year-old.
Yeah. And like, did they go further into like what he did with those girls?
No.
Let's say, because like I wonder if he like tried the same shit.
Oh well, we'll talk about it a little bit.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this is in '98. His career was over in '96.
Yeah.
So he was becoming popular in the sports scene in the area in Dallas, I believe. 2 years after his retirement, he was looking to coach and working with kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like a lot of people, like that's why a lot of people defend him because they didn't know. Like they thought, like he's doing great stuff for kids. He's coaching and stuff. One of the kids' fathers, his name is Gary. He noticed Mel at a basketball game, and he went up to talk to him because he recognized him, and he's like, "Yeah, my son plays baseball, and I was wondering if you could give him some tips."
Yeah.
And Mel tells me, "Yeah, I'd be happy to help him." "Yeah, I noticed your daughter over there playing basketball. She looks like she has a promising career. I'd like to work with her too."
Oh yeah, of course
and
you
I'm
fucking
thinking
would,
about
Mel.
starting up like my own team. Yeah, guy's daughter's 12.
Oh my god.
So he then starts doing, and like the guy Gary, her dad, is like, "Yeah, that'd be great, you know, like you can work with them and stuff." And Gary's like family, he's going through like a rough time with his wife. They have money problems and shit like that.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to do like, he sees this as like a good situation. Like, holy shit, Mel Hall's gonna come in and help my kids. Maybe they'll get like a good career out of this. They'll go to college and shit.
Yeah.
So Mel Hall starts doing the exact same shit with her. He's like picking her up from school in his Jaguar. And he tells the family, like, "Yeah, I just bought a house down here, but it's getting worked on." So he moves in with this family also.
Oh, my God.
So he does the exact same slimeball tactics.
Yeah.
The daughter was 12, and her brother is 10. One day, Mel was at the house with him, and he just, like, whipped his dick out. And the son said he just thought it was, like, some game. He didn't know any better. Speaking of game,
What the fuck?
here's a game Mel Hall used to like to play. He would take his pants and underwear off, he would lay on his back and put his legs up. This isn't funny, but it's like trying to
Continue.
It's so not funny.
It sounds like a game we played last night.
It's
Fuck yeah,
so
dude.
not funny, but like picturing it. He would lay on his back and he would put his legs up in the air like he was pedaling like an air bicycle and just
Yes.
let his balls and dick flop around. And then he would
Yes.
start laughing maniacally. And like the kids saw him laughing, so they
my
would laugh all
God.
together at it like it was some game. Like what in the
Wait,
fucking
this is real?
world?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought this was a joke.
No,
Nah.
he would do this.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is dick and balls
I mean-
flopping around while
I
he
mean,
rides
it is
it is
it is gross, but he won a lot of fucking battles in Mortal Kombat with that move.
Imagine it like the arcade. Like he's trying to pick up kids and shit. He's at the
Yeah.
arcade playing Mortal Kombat. He sees Liu Kang do that. He's like,
He's like,
holy
"Oh,
shit,
fuck
I know how
yeah."
to use this. And that's what he went home and did.
Somehow it's like a Mortal Kombat, but it's like Dance Dance Revolution where you have to do the moves and shit. So he does that.
And so this escalated more and more. I don't want to go into like too much detail, but he would start off like teaching her like how to give oral sex and like I think he would like masturbate in front of her. He would make her like go down on him and shit. And he would always do it in like situations where like it was like more dangerous. Like if they had like
Yeah.
a family gathering downstairs, he
Yeah.
would do it upstairs with her before going downstairs.
So fucking
Like he
weird,
got
dude.
off on like almost being caught. Like that's
Yeah.
what she spoke out against him in court.
Oh,
saying.
man.
Yeah.
To make it even more fucked up, when he like laid on his back and did that, I think he had the brother do it too.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, did
Oh,
he?
wow.
Yeah, I read that he
See.
had the.
See, I didn't get this far into the thing. I didn't read any of this stuff.
Yeah, they said like he did it too, but like they didn't really find it as funny when the brother did it.
That's fucking
Yeah,
gross,
Mel's like,
dude.
what the fuck you
Well,
doing?
yeah,
here?
you're-
Let me show you how it's
Yeah,
done.
you're not doing that right.
And yeah, during this time, Mel has a wife. He has an infant son, and they would eventually get an apartment together. And he would invite this girl over to babysit. So let's fast forward to the future. June 21st, 2007. The girls finally come forward, and he's charged with 2 counts of sexual assault. That's what it originally is.
Yeah.
By June 16th, 2009, he's also convicted on 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault and 2 counts of indecency with a child. And these are just the girls that came forward. So who knows how many more there
Oh,
actually
yeah, there
are,
probably
especially
was.
because he was like a youth coach working with kids a lot.
Ugh.
And some will also come forward saying like he inappropriately touched them or groped them when coaching. And he also only coached girls' teams.
One of the moms spoke out to him and asked him why he is coaching only girls, and he actually told her it's because boys are stubborn and too hard to
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah, that's what he said.
He said
Yeah.
girls are a lot easier to coach because they actually listen and want the fundamentals or something like that.
Easier to groom, really, for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
And they believe he either abused or had improper relationships with at least 7 underage girls.
Wow.
And there was one girl who's like, yeah, he was like teaching me like a batting stance, and he would like grab me. Or like one time, like he would like catcall and yell out inappropriate shit at like these like 12-year-old girls and stuff. And during this time, this is what's even more fucked up. Since he was like an athlete in New York and stuff, and like a lot of people respected him for some reason. Online, and they're still up, people made smear campaigns against these girls, defending him.
What?
And even against Jennifer, after she comes forward as a witness. People are defending him like crazy. If you go online, you'll see message boards defending him. And it's fucking ridiculous.
What are their arguments for?
There's like, oh, Jennifer, if you're telling the truth, how come your family's not here with you?
'Cause
You're here alone.
fucking
And she's
they-
like, he ruined my family.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have a relationship
Yeah.
because of him. Like, yeah, they're trying to like smear all these girls.
They fucking sold her to him pretty much.
It's pretty fucking disgusting. Like, ugh. On June 17th, 2009, he's sentenced to 45 years in prison, which is like a max sentence. He must serve at least 22 years and 4 months before he's eligible for parole. So as of right now, he's 57 years old. And he kept saying that like he'd prove his innocence. Like, wait till 2016, I'm going to prove my innocence. And I couldn't find anything at all about it. So obviously that didn't fucking
Wait,
work.
why was he saying wait till 2016?
I think they're trying to put together or something. I really have no idea. He's a fucking idiot.
Would he fucking bring Johnny Cochran back from the dead?
He's like, wait till 2016. Yeah, see, they're 18 now.
Holy
It's
shit.
okay.
he was waiting for Trump to become president to pardon him.
Oh.
Are you saying that he got out? He's going to get out in 2031?
2031 at the earliest, and he would be 71 years old.
I got a couch waiting for you, buddy.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, his family and wife still stand behind him 100%, saying he's innocent and how he's a good father. My dad would never do that, which is weird.
He fucking did do it.
It sounds like his family really, like, maybe he was a super good father. I really don't know, but I mean his kids all really defend him. I think his son plays baseball now. Maybe I don't know. I think his son might play baseball.
And in like the last chapter I read, like a lady knocked on I don't know if it was Jennifer or Courtney, but knocked on one of their doors, and she's like, could you if you could you repeat your testimony from 7 years ago today and it'd be all correct? And she's like, yeah. She's like, okay, good. And then she just walked away. And she's like, what the hell? And she found out later that was Mrs. Hall.
So we didn't cover like a lot of all the court stuff too much. I just wanted to get into the details of what he was actually doing. And we got into the case about the first girl because it sounds like that's exactly what he was trying to do to all these other ones. But you can go online and check it out, like some more of the actual case hearing. But yeah, that's everything we have on for our Mel Hall episode. Was there anything you guys wanted to mention about it or add in? Talk about?
Definitely the most disgusting podcast that we've done, I would say.
He's a sick fuck, dude.
It is different. Like, there wasn't, like, murder and stuff like that, but I wanted to do a Cleveland athlete, and this is just so bizarre.
Oh, yeah,
like,
it is.
And there's not even a ton of stuff about him.
It sucks because some of it's funny, but until it gets to, like, the real like, bad
just,
shit.
Yo, it was
so above the law and so much better than everybody that he could just do all that weird shit.
Fuck this guy.
Andrew, Andrew's taking his pants and underwear off. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. He's doing the Mel Hall.
No.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our podcast. We would love for you to interact with us on the social medias. We have Twitter. We have Facebook. What really helps is if you can share the podcast with as many friends as possible, get people to listen, and send us feedback. We appreciate that. What's our email, Kev?
brotherscommonplace@gmail.com.
So send us suggestions there, or leave a comment on Facebook or Twitter, and please leave us a review and a rating on whatever podcast service you use, especially iTunes. But wherever you get the podcast, the reviews and the ratings, they really help us get more exposure. So thank y'all.
I just want to add in, like Spence mentioned, those iTunes reviews and ratings. Please, please, please take the time to leave us one. If someone wants to leave us a 5-star one where it's either like super funny or super nice, or you can just give us a 5-star one and just rip on us, make fun of us, we'll read it on our next one. If it's 5 stars and
we'd
we
probably
like it.
still laugh.
And I do want to give just a couple shout outs to a couple podcasts that we're kind of friends with on Twitter. So if you're not listening to them, check them out. One of them is called the Nature versus Narcissism podcast. Check that out. Mall podcast, which is MAUL for mysteries and urban legends.
Oh yeah.
Based on a true crime. That's a pretty cool one. They talk about cases and then they talk about the movie that relates to it, and they send us stickers in the mail, so that's pretty cool too.
That's pretty cool.
Good Nightmares, really cool. Dark Divide podcast. It's super awesome. The girl has like the best podcast voice I've ever heard. She could read a phone book. Chinese phone book.
Oh, yeah.
And I would fucking subscribe to that shit. It's really good. So check that out. Andrew, words of wisdom.
Just rate and review. I can't do the normal stuff, not with these. No.
Yeah.
Come on, Andrew.
I can't do the porn stuff this
Dude,
time.
you just had your balls and dick flopping around while you were riding that invisible upside-down bicycle, and you're not going to say something?
Yeah, but they didn't have to see it. They just had to hear about it, so no.
All right.
I'm sorry, guys.
Every 5-star review, you enter into a chance to win a free cat that we're giving away.
Oh, fuck yeah.
She's really nice.
Yeah, have fun with that one. They didn't put Mel Hall in the Hall of Fame. They actually renamed it after him. It's called the Hall of Mel.
Dude, what's
So
funny
fucking dumb.
is I stopped myself. I had a really bad joke I was going to crack.
Yeah.
Like, you remember the TV show Kids in the Hall?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, shit. Yes.
Tell me more, did you buy her a car? Everyone out there, thanks for listening. Be good, stay safe.
Laugh at the dark stuff.
This February, history will be made. Millions will watch as 80 years of unjust stigma is left in the past. A product that drove good people to the black market will be revealed as one that's creating a new global market. This February, what inspired the symbol of counterculture will at long last be seen as just culture. The new normal is coming. Will you be one of the first to see it? Visit medmen.com to watch an exclusive preview. This February, history will be made. Millions will watch as 80 years of unjust stigma is left in the past. A product that drove good people to the black market will be revealed as one that's creating a new global market. This February, what inspired the symbol of counterculture will at long last be seen as just culture. The new normal is coming. Will you be one of the first to see it? Visit medmen.com to watch an exclusive preview.